The National Campaign Council of the All Progressives Congress for the September 19 governorship election in Edo State has alleged that Governor Godwin Obaseki has directed that 8 outdoor billboards and campaign posters of its candidate, Pastor Osageize Yamu, and his deputy, Malam Hani Audu, in the state be removed. Addressing a press conference in Benin City, the national chairman of the APC Publicity Committee, Honorable Patrick Obahiagmo, condemned the alleged directive the governor was said to have given to the managing director of the Edo State Signage and Advertising Agency, Dave Giwa Amu. But Governor Obaseki's media aide, Cruzo Osage, denied the allegation, saying Izeyamu was just crying wolf where there is none. And for more on this, I've now been joined by Barrister Daniel Bwala, who is a legal practitioner and member of the Honorable Society of Lincoln's Inns, London. He was the Secretary of the Appeals Committee for the Edo APC Governorship Screening Committee. And from our outside studio by Leslie Ebhotemhen, who is the spokesperson of Obaseki Mandate Forum here in Abuja. Well, gentlemen, very warm welcome to the Arise interview. Let me start with Barrister Daniel Bwala here. He's right here with me. Yeah, your campaign, I mean, the spokesman to the Edo State Governor Obaseki says APC is just crying wolf where there is none.
No, I doubt much, because you have just in your introduction recounted that Governor Obaseki gave the instruction that the bill would be taken out.
That he didn't give.
That he did not?
Yes, I didn't say he gave. I'm just reading
okay, you
what
are
the
saying
statement.
He claimed that he did not.
Yeah.
Right? Now, who is supposed to be...
It's not, listen, it's not directed at me.
Yes.
So just face the issue
exactly.
at hand, all right?
That is the same thing I'm saying. Who is supposed to be the chief executive officer of the state? Remember, it was the same governor who became so detailed and so meticulous about the running of the state that at that time he was coming out with regulations, restricting movement, restricting public meetings, because he felt he cared and that he has a duty to preserve the state. Now, in a situation like this, where a billboard was erected in the center of the town and scandalous clip was being played, there is no way the governor can claim or feign ignorance. But I believe they did that only after we raised our voice to say that this is a foul play and that it is an act of irresponsibility. Remember, the candidate of APC said it, that it is an act of irresponsibility to be focusing on someone who is not a candidate and who is not an indigene of the state. So they quickly realized that what they did was wrong, and that's why they had to take it down. But the most important thing is not that they have taken it or they are erecting it. The point is, do they have agenda? The point is, do they have plan for the people of Edo? This is going to be a campaign of issues, not campaign of scandal. It's not a campaign of calumny. It's going to be a campaign of issues. Do you know why I said that? There are states in this country. And of course, you must know that Edo State is a state that is rich in history in terms of education, enlightenment, historically in the country. So you have a vast majority of people in Edo, the indigenes and those who are resident in Edo, who have a very thorough knowledge of issues of life. And so if you are going to convince them, or you are going to seek for their support, for their blessing, for their vote, then you must speak to them. And as a governor, what he should focus on, if he believes that the first 4 years have produced something good for the people, is to emphasize them, make them a talking point. But he does not have any agenda. He does not have anything good to show for the people of Edo, other than in the past 4 years, he was busy signing memorandum of understanding with different companies. None has translated in the real time.
That was under your party then, right? The APC.
It doesn't matter.
When he was governor of, when he was governor under your party, right?
It doesn't matter. At this point, it is individual.
You people didn't find it expedient to draw his attention that I was signing.
That may be the reason why he couldn't scale through. This is about people. This is about the indigenes of Edo. And that is even one. And then you are talking about a governor who already the party he has moved to has had issues with him in the past. Remember, when he was in our party, because you like mentioning the fact that he was in our party, when he was in our party, Which political party took him to court on the account of certificate problem, credential problem? It wasn't our party, it was PDP. And we have a dossier of the things that they filed in court. Let me even tell you this. Had the election petition tribunal of PDP at the time, had it scaled through, Governor Obaseki's election would have been disqualified. But they failed because of this requirement of the Electoral Act, the period within which your election must sail through and all of that. So that is a fact that the party took him to court on. So are they going to close their... Let me finish.
So APC will be taking him to court
No, that's not what we are saying.
Why are you not doing that now if you find him ineligible?
So he is...
Because INEC has published all the data now in Edo State, in the whole local government. So why has APC not filed against his eligibility?
There is a process that has been filed on his eligibility. I can tell you that. Very cogent, compelling, and worthy of pursuit. And I can tell you that. So how does he intend to defend what the very platform on which he's running now, where the first people with evidence and document filed a matter in court against him? So he cannot scale even on that platform. Then you come to the issue of what has he done to the people of Edo? Can he point, if I have served for the first 4 years in a state, and somebody is coming who has not had the privilege of serving in the capacity of a governor, all I need is to point at projects I have accomplished and just tell them, look at this thing, you get more of it, vote for me. But since when they started up until this moment, they have not been able to summon the courage and identify or point at anything other than memorandum of understanding. Memorandum of understanding in itself is not development unless you can translate it. And if you fail to do that, if all you've been doing in 4 years is signing, so you need another 4 years to interpret it, maybe you will even push for a third time to attempt to implement it. On that premise, you know that he does not have an agenda for the people of Edo. Conversely, our own candidate is one who has come out with what we call simple agenda that is smart. And each of the letter that constitute the simple has been elaborately and concisely defined with detailed agenda of what he intends to do. Is not just saying it.
Nigerian politics is very unique.
Right.
This same candidate, a few months ago, he was in PDP, and he was the worst, human being anybody could vote for, going by some of the utterances of your erstwhile chairman during the 2016 campaign. He called him names. Very unprintable names. They are not even names I want to mention on air here. And today is now the beautiful bride.
And the answer is simple.
How time changes, how fast time changes.
The answer is simple. First of all, under a political environment, for those who understand and appreciate politics, you sell the image of your candidate. It's like a product you are taking to the market. You talk to the perceived prospective buyers of the importance of your product, the value of your product, and everything. And so if at the time the governor de-emphasized him or published his name or even project him in a bad light because of politics, all he was doing was political campaign in order to
so why wouldn't we see this as a political campaign against Obaseki?
No, I'll come to the point. Now, why he did that as a political selling of his candidate by discrediting the other candidate. But the governor himself has just one vote. And everything he said at the time were his mere opinion, right? So it will now boil down to the people of Edo who will go and vote. So it doesn't matter what he said.
Thanks very much, Daniel, for that. You've really come to judgment in situating it that way. He has one vote. He decampaigned his opponent then, who is now his candidate. Let's go to our offside studio where we have Leslie Ebhotemhen. He's the spokesman or spokesperson for the Obaseki Mandate Forum. Hello, Leslie. Nice having you here.
Yeah, good evening.
I hope you've listened very attentively to Barrister Daniel Bwala. He's trying to justify the candidacy of Pastor Ize Yamu and the campaign methodology of the governor, where the PDP APC governorship candidate posters are being destroyed. Is that the situation in Benin?
The governor, Obaseki, is a man that has a lot of respect for humanity. The governor, at every point in time, will always want to address the entire world on a platform of a gentle person that he has always been. There will be no reason why Obaseki, who really wants, critics, he wants people to try to measure the things that he's doing in the state and see how better he can add to what he's doing. Then do not go about see how to ridicule the other party by removing the boards, the billboards that have already been built by the Eziyamu advertisers. It would be very, very, very wrong to say that a governor gives such directives. That is not true. He can't do that, and he will never do that. We need to talk about the achievements. Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, it's like we're still having some slight technical issue from our offsite studio there. Bwala, you were talking, about, well, let's look at the campaign issues very well. The billboard you said that was being destroyed by the PDP, I'm sure must be the scandalous ones put in place by the Director General of the chairman of the APC campaign, this thing in Edo State, the one that they call Gandola.
Yes.
And the rest.
Yes, that was the...
That's equally scandalous, right?
Yes, that's what the PDP, placed on board. But you see,
the PDP made...
The PDP were the one that installed the board.
That did that.
They were the ones that did that. They acknowledged it. That's why they had to pull it down. But you see, they
pulled it down?
Yes, they pulled it down. That's what we heard. But let me give you a perspective. They did that because they felt that the chairman of the campaign council, Governor Ganduje, is a master strategist in terms of movement of people and mobilizing of people.
Where are you going to move the people from? From Kanu?
No, I'm talking about mobilizing the
people.
people.
You say movement of people.
Movement of people in Edo.
No, during the elections, is movement allowed?
No, you are getting it completely wrong, and you have a biased view to what I'm saying.
No, I think that is very wrong.
Who are going to vote? The people are going to vote.
Yeah.
Do you move? If I am in court, I say I move my motion.
Yeah.
I say I make an argument in the hope that I will move Christian Ogodo.
Yeah.
So that's the point I'm saying. Moving the people, persuading the people, convincing the people, getting the people to understand that aligning with the center, meaning that if Edo State stays as a governing party aligned with the center, Edo has a better way of enjoying the dividend of democracy. Edo State has a better chance and opportunity in the entire Niger Delta to sustain the benefit that the government can give by virtue of its alignment with the center. Governor Ganduje is one that is known in terms of mobilizing people to that effect. And so they were frightened by him. But I sat down for a moment and I said, if we look at the video they were putting, do you compare Governor Ganduje and Governor Obaseki? Are they mates? In politics, in business, in real life? They are not. Governor Ganduje has his own certificate. Governor Obaseki is battling with the certificate issue. Governor Ganduje is governing the second largest city in the country. Governor Obaseki is not having that much a number. Governor Ganduje has a multiplicity of complexity of cases in his state, and it's
You're making it look as if it's Governor Ganduje that is contesting this election in Edo State.
I told you I'm giving you the perspective to the billboard.
Hello, Leslie. You want to tell us more about these billboard issues and how is the PDP in Edo State campaigning or reaching out to its members?
Well, it came as a shock that the governor gave directives that the billboards be taken away from its locations. I see that as an assassination of his character. I see that as defamation because I think when you want to say so, you want to make such announcements, there should be proofs, there should be evidences of saying. We all know what happened in the case of Joseph when he was being accused by Potiphar's wife, who in turn did that to just gain the ears of the husband. But at the end of it all, finally, the results came and they found out that Joseph was just clean and he didn't have such records. Today, the same thing is almost playing out. When you hear things like this, you have to be very, very mindful and careful so that you don't fall prey to the antics and the gimmicks on how they could just ridicule somebody who has built so much a name that the entire world is, applauding all his wonderful achievements that he has presented so far to the entire world and the Edo populace.
I mean, one would want to know some of the achievements, that's one. And two, does it still have anything like certificate issues? I know that INEC cleared him based on all the submissions he made. So where is the APC coming from with all the issues of certificate, no certificates again?
The authority, INEC, has been cleared, and so it is. So every other thing that is following suit is just a struggle to see how they can have their way, to bring him down and see how they could get to that point of strangulating an already developed state, a state that already has the best governor in Nigeria, so to speak, a governor that has made a massive change, compared to the past governments that we always had. I will start by the electricity. I remember in Edo State, one could stay for a week or two without having a blink of light. But today, he has generated over 80 megawatts of power. And that has brought a lot of investors, brought a lot of, investments to the state. And talking about the stadium that was abandoned, the Edo Stadium is a world-class edifice that attracts the entire world to even come to the point of having a World Cup, in that stadium. I'm sure you saw that stadium. It was used for the primary election, and you could see for yourself. And then we'll talk about the Edo Best. The Edo Best is simply one of the notable uprising medium to reach out through learning to the entire world. You can see that he's bringing in the 5G awareness and the 5G upgrade when it comes to learning, when it comes to bringing the children to focus and ensuring that everybody within that space learns and gets the best of education. So when you talk about education, Obaseki has given the best. And we wouldn't want that kind of vision and that dream that is being realized to die.
Wow.
And when we talk about the pensioners, you can see that our aged parents are really, really dancing and giving lots of testimonies on how their monies are being paid regularly, promptly, duly, and they are no longer dying like they used to die. They are well paid, they're properly.
Leslie, let's leave that. Let's quickly, sorry, Leslie, sorry to cut you short there. Let's quickly look at this campaign of calumny, mudslinging, and the rest. Why the billboard of Kano State Governor in Edo State, while, the toga showing him talking dollars into his babariga. Is Ganduje the issue in Edo State?
Well, I think I have something to say about that. It's very, very proper for us to address matters the way it is. You heard, just like you say now, that the billboards have been brought down and the directives came from the governor himself. I wouldn't know how you got that information, but I surely know that evidence haven't proven that yet, and we all know that when it comes to politics, the campaign of calumny is always in place, especially in Nigeria. Don't be surprised that they themselves are the ones going out there to get all these things done. Because I can for sure tell you that the governor will not and will never direct anybody to do such a thing.
Leslie, good points to really apply the brakes, and let's get Barrister Daniel Bwala to accelerate again. Right. What is the APC promising the Edo people anew this time that you failed to achieve?
APC is promising security, and security is a problem. You have seen not long ago where I think a justice of the Court of Appeal or High Court was kidnapped in a broad daylight in Benin
But people
City.
are kidnapped all over the country.
It becomes a concern. Yeah. Your capacity to, that means the governor didn't see that as a concern. Our candidate saw that as a concern, and he came up with the promise for security. He came up with the promise also for infrastructural development. You heard them talking about development. Go to Benin and go to the roads of Benin and see if there is actual development, the way they talk about it.
So there's not been development then?
There's nothing serious. Then manpower. That you paint Ogbe Stadium and you call it a world-class stadium that hosted World Cup. You and I know that if a country is hosting the war, it is the federal government that will pay the funds for the project. They went and gathered people. They painted the stadium, gathered ushers for the meeting, then registered these ushers that attended as employment that they've generated in that state. We are not doing Yahoo governance. So we want to bring major change to the people.
But that was during when the governor was with the APC.
But remember, for more than 2-3 years.
Was that?
Yes, he was with APC.
So you people are doing Yahoo governance.
If you remember, in the past 2-3 years, which must fall under this period that he did this, there has been what they quote-unquote call it a crisis between him and the former national chairman. It is nothing more than deliverables to the people, governance to the people. Even the hospital that was built to 75% completion that was handed to him, he couldn't even conclude the hospital and manage COVID-19. How can such a governor bring about healthcare in that state? We are talking about revamping education. You start revamping education by you first declaring proper certificate that you graduated from the university. And then you can then tell the people you have the audacity of hope to talk about development you want to bring to the people. He simply does not have an agenda. And another 4 more years will bring tragedy. Another 4 more years will bring backwardness and underdevelopment to the people of Edo. That is why there is the need for Pastor Eze Iyamo. And let me tell you something. Even in 2016, when Pastor Eze Iyamo challenged from PDP, APC merely won with less than 50,000 votes against
It's all right. Let's just quickly cross to the offside studio. If Leslie is there, Leslie, quickly in 1 minute, can you summarize, the expectations from your candidate, Governor Obaseki of the PDP?
Yes,
quickly.
Well, I am pleased to inform you that every achievement that you have seen as a person within the time frame that he came in and while he came in his first government, he is going to have a double of that. He's coming with another huge volume of developmental strides to the state, and he's already putting a serious masterwork on ground to ensure that every dream that he has is realized.
So very much, Leslie. That's what all time would allow us for. Leslie Ebhotemhen is the spokesman of Obaseki Mandate Forum, and Barrister Daniel Bwala is a member of the APC. Thanks very much, gentlemen, for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having us.
Well, that's it for this edition of the Arise interview. Do remember to join us again tomorrow from me and the entire team here in Abuja. Goodbye, and thanks for watching.